Audio Jungle.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Nicole Keith, and welcome to the Daily News Report. Today is Saturday, August 31st, 2019, but we're going to go back in time to the year 1819. This was the year the Supreme Court case McCulloch v. Maryland was decided. 3 years before, in 1816, America opened a national bank. Many states were not happy because this bank competed with its own banks. So, to keep down competition, the states would tax the national bank. During that time, the state of Maryland imposed a tax on the bank of $15,000 a year that the cashier, James McCulloch, refused to pay. Maryland argued that because it was a sovereign state, it had the right to tax any business. However, McCulloch argued that a national bank was necessary and proper for Congress to establish in order to carry out its enumerated powers. Reporter Izzy Rappaport will be taken to the streets of Jacksonville to find out if citizens know more about this case.
Thank you, Nicole. Let's see how well Talia knows this court case. Talia, do you know why this court case is important?
This case was important because America wouldn't be America without this case, and that's the T, so.
Not exactly. It's because it helped define the scope of Congress's power and set up the relationship between federal and state governments. But do you know what clause helped reach the verdict of this court case?
What clauses were helpful would be the Santa Claus clause and the Mrs. Claus clause, because, you know, what other clauses are there?
No. The two clauses used were the necessary and proper clause, which allowed the federal government to have the bank, but the supremacy clause was the one that did not allow Maryland to tax the state. You know what two principles the court case established in constitutional law?
Two important principles the case established into constitutional law would be the Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer law and the Frosty the Snowman law, because without those laws, what would Christmas be?
No. So, the Constitution grants Congress implied powers, and that state action cannot hinder constitutional exercises of power set in place by the federal government. Back to you, Nicole.
Thank you, Izzy, for your amazing interview. In 1819, the court ruled in favor that under the Necessary and Proper Clause of Article 1, Section 8, the U.S. had the right to create a second national bank, and the states could not impose a tax on this bank. That's all for today's news. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to tune in next week where we discuss Popeyes versus Chick-fil-A. Who has the better chicken sandwich?